Okay, so good evening, sir. Good evening, ma. How's your weekend today now? So, our today's topic is going to be a continuation from our last topic when we are talking about the one applying the CSS to our HTML web pages. And let me take a review of our previous work classes. We designed the class. We designed this. We are working on this site, which is a cow website where people can be able to buy the cow. And the last time we talked about how you can add the CSS to the word, to the image, and to navigation and the list. This is where we have get to so far. We have a page that contain different type of the cows, and we'll be able to apply CSS to the word, to this image, to make it look more attractive. This is not the how our page look like before when we use the HTML. So, but now we are making use of the CSS to change the appearance of this particular website. So we have applied the CSS to the home page. Now you can see our home page here now. And also we also applied the CSS to the client page here too. Though we have not yet completed the client page now. And the next one is that we are also applied this. We have not applied CSS to about us. We have not applied CSS to the contact us, because we said that and there are some other pages too we still need to apply CSS to, like the data page again. We have not applied CSS to this page. So we want to continue from where we stop. But today we want to see how CSS can be applied to a table to transform the table. Because if you look at this particular page, there are so many sections there where we make use of the table. Like here now, if you look at this particular this cow page here, this is just like a section that shows the subtitle of a page. This is a page header. For every page there is a header for them. The about page, this is the header for it, and this header is designed by using table. Let me take you back to the CSS for it of the about us now. If you can see the about us here, this is the head section, and this is the navigation section we have on the wall on the about us. And also this is the section we have for the banner, which we call the header for the page. This header for the page here is contain word table, and that is it. So every pages too also have something like this particular section. We call it the banner style for every page, and for the index page, this is it. So if I return to that particular section, if I say about us page now, and I save this page, you see that that exact page is going to be refreshed here. You can see. So because this borderline is a table, you want to see how you can be able to use CSS to be able to change the appearance of this again. That's what we want to do. And once you be able to change it, you can apply it to all the pages. That's why we want to learn about how to apply CSS to a table. But not only that again, at the end of the day, we are going to see how to apply CSS to a form too. If you look at our contact us form here now, the contact us form here is not looking attractive at all. You want to see how CSS can be applied to the contact us to make it look more attractive. And there's another table again you want to apply CSS to. If I return to the home page, I click on the detail for this cow. From this cow, see I'm adding the cow to the cart here. Once I click on how the cow to the cart here, you can see the cart page here. This cart page too is also designed by using a table. And at the same time, I want us to see how to use the CSS to transform the particular cart page too, to make it look more attractive. This is one of the target page you want to apply the CSS to. When we are talking about apply CSS to a table, we use CSS to change the cart page, and we are going to use CSS again to be able to change the form too. From this particular page again, we are still going to see how you can. When I click on the checkout on this particular cart page again, it takes me to another form, which is a contact, which is checkout page form, and the CSS is going to be applied to this. So you are going to have our handful today, because these two particular topics are very important: applying CSS to a table and applying CSS to a form today. So maybe after that, in the next slide, we'll now talk about the layout now. So let me quickly return back to work. So we have been using a guideline on this particular site, which I call Tech Republic. If you can remove the side, this thing should move up now. So you can see my Tech Republic. I want to talk about how I apply CSS to what? To a table here now. And when we apply CSS to a table, there are different types of the CSS property as we always mentioned before. For example, now before I start it, let me return to my cart page now, because that's one of the important page we want to apply the CSS to now. Okay, I save this page back and also save the client page back again. So I close this and I want to bring the contact us page out. I'm going to pin the checkout page out. Where's the checkout? Okay, those two needed, and the contact us page. These are the two pages, and the third page we want to apply CSS to. I call it cart page. Very good, cart page. So let me set the border for the cart page on here now, because the border, when we create a cart page here, I set it to the 1. I want us to see how the structure of the cart page look like now. If you look at this my cart page now and I refresh this page, can you see these are the table lines we use for the cart page? So what we want to do now is how can we be able to do or change, apply CSS to change this table? That's what we are working on now. So returning to this now, when we apply CSS to a table, we can use CSS to change the table border. That's where I want to start from now. And from this, I will be removing all the CSS, all the attributes I already applied to the cart table here. This is a cart table. So I set the border to 1, and I also set the width to 100. So this is going to be changed to using CSS here now. So I cut it out. I can say class equal. I use for maybe cart table now. Good. That is CSS I want to use. So I'll return to my CSS style file. I will now create another CSS rule. I can create a new CSS file for this page, but this time around I want to add it to the existing one here. I will use a comment to demarcate that CSS wall CSS okay, I say wall, okay, cart wall table. So this one means the CSS I'm going to write here is applied to the cart wall table. So I'm using the class, I say dot wall dot cart, I say dot cart wall table now, because the name of the CSS I want to apply to this, I call it cart table here, and it's a class selector. So I'm returning back to the CSS and I say dot class table, that to define the class wall selector here now. So here now I can now start writing the rule. These are the two attributes that is available on that particular cart table. I want to use CSS to replace the attribute. That is why I deleted the attribute from here and replace it with this particular class. So the next thing now to do here, coming down here, I will now write the CSS rule, starting from the width of the table now. I want it to be 100. That will be colon 100% and a semicolon. The next one is the border. If I'm going to apply the border to the table, I'm going to apply table border like this. I say border 1 solid black, and there's no need for you to be using border the way you normally write before. That is border a black. But there's one thing I want to remember here is that this border now, this particular border I declare here now, it means the border I'm creating here is applied to only the table. Let me save this page and see what is happening here now to this page. And when I refresh the cart now, okay, I have to say the cart here now, okay, and see what happened here. You can notice that the cart table is automatically adjusted. The information is not properly aligned the way it's supposed to be aligned. The reason why is that the CSS I declare here for this, I only declare the CSS only for the for the table alone. If you look at it now, I apply CSS to this table. You get now? CSS is not applying to the to the TH, it is not applying to to the TD. Because when you are applying CSS to a table, the CSS will be applied to every element of the table, including TATD. So what I need to do here now is this. I'm going to make sure this particular CSS, I apply the same thing to the table, to the 100%, the column 100% and the tier to be 100%. So returning backward to this my page here now, because if you look at the CSS we have here on this, that means CSS applying to TH and TD. That's why. So because the CSS apply is to the table, that's why you see the border here for only the word, the table. So I must apply the CSS to what? To the other element. So returning back here again, I'm going to separate this CSS here now. Instead of say cat what table here, okay, with the cat table again, I can now apply the CSS to what? To the other word element here by returning to cat here and say class. Where's my TD? TH. Okay, this is TH, and TH is going to have what? Cat table. Cat table. Look at these two first. Let me save it and let's see what actually happened here. There's no change now. There's no change now. Oh, TRTH. Okay, TD here. TD class table. Okay, TD class table again. There's no change here now. There's no change, you can see. Okay, undo and then undo again. Undo here again. So this is table, car table, and save this one here. Oh, the next thing, you see the reason why this did not show anything is this. This particular checkout, let me reverse everything I've done before. You see that the table, the CSS I created here, the CSS here, which I call card table, and I apply it to this particular one, table here, card table, will not show any effect. The reason why is that what this CSS file is not called in this cart page. If you look at the cart page, we have not called the CSS at all. And CSS must be called just the same way we call it on all the pages like what? Index page. So I'm calling the CSS file now. Since it is an external CSS, by using the particular link tag CSS style, I'm coming down here and add it here now. Without calling this particular word CSS file on the new page, all the CSS rule I've written here will not take effect. So return back to the word code.html now, and I save this page again. So once I return to this, you can see this line now. So here means that what? This particular word page, I already applied CSS to it. And CSS applying to this page is only affecting only the table. Do you get now? We can only set the border for what? For the table. Though I can set border for other elements too, like the TD and TH. For me to do that again, this particular word CSS rule which I've written here, I must apply it to every word, every column, and every header here. Just like this one here now. I call this particular class here, and I say what? Apply to this column here now. Okay, and apply to the second header here too. You get it now? That is apply to, okay, undo. Okay, apply to the second header here too. Oh, undo, undo. Okay, so I copy this again here and apply to this and apply to this again. So when I save this, see what happened to these two pages. You can see only this header have the word, the CSS. You get now, but it's not going to be good like this because the CSS rule I'm creating here now, I just want to apply to only the table to show the table word border. You get now, that is it. So if you want the border for other element to show, I can apply the CSS by specify TH and TD too. You get it now. Another important of this CSS now is that one, the CSS too. If you don't want the border for the table to show at all, maybe I want border to just be what automatically will collapse, and I want it to be in a single column, like what you have already seen here now. I can use another particle border table collapse. Collapse means the border is going to become a single border for every element here now. If I copy this CSS rule and I return to this page again, and I change the CSS rule in CSS style here now, instead of border solid is equal to 1 here, for the table I replace it with this. And once I save it, every element in the table now will have their own wall. Oh, there's something I've not saved. Okay, I've not saved this cart page here now. Okay, and I save the cart page. Return back here again. This is the CSS for the table. Okay, title. Okay, border collapse. Undo. Okay, redo, and paste here now. So let me see what this one give us. Border for the table. Okay, so I can still use this border or collapse again. The same thing performed by this border here to also define the border for what, for the table here again. That is it. So border table can still have a wall, a single wall line like this, a separate border for every element, but collapse border give us these tables here now. But there's one more important attribute again for this table. If I'm going to adjust the space inside the table, maybe the table is too close to the border or to line, you can use padding for it. Do you get now? Padding 15, or you can say padding. That to make sure every element in the table are not close to the border. This one can, but padding can be applied to TH and TD. But most important in the table, which I want to discuss now, is in how can we apply the color for the table, controlling the color in the table, the zebra zip color. That's one of the most important. We already know that we have this particular this card table now. I want to give you a different type of the element, different type of the color design. The zebra zip color mean you want to give the different color to all the table. Maybe a row 1 should different from the row 2, and row 2 should different from the row 3. Interchanging color. To do that again, this is going to apply to the table row here now. So I copy this to apply to the T body, and that means any TR in T body is what this particular CSS is going to be to be affected. So returning back to my CSS here now. Okay, I can now add this here, T body. You get it now? And for any TR that have the T body, they are going to take this particular CSS. So if I look at my table here now, I have a T body here, and I have a T R here. So this one means that any TR inside that particular table, automatically system is going to adjusting their color. Now, the color we are using for our site here is is a green color. That is our unique color here now. Okay, back. Okay, that's our unique color. I think it's the green color here now. Okay, so the color I'm going to use here now, I'm going to make sure it is green too. Returning here, I want to change the color which I just apply here to green color, and that's going to be something like the hexadecimal code for it 0066 00. So this give us the green. Just a minute. So this give us the green. So this one mean that when I apply this T body, the T body mean look for T body and apply the CSS rule. But in the T body, every TR in the T body, no TR is a row. On nth mean is a child row that is odd in number. Every TR that is odd in number, like here now, if I return to this particular page, and this is my cart page, the first row here is odd, that is 1. Second row here is even, the fourth row is odd. So the system is going to be changing the color based on the odd number and even number. Every odd number is going to be green, while the odd even number is going to be white. That is what this CSS rule mean. So once I save this particular CSS code there, since you already applied to the cart page, this is how the cart page look like. But see what happened here means that there are somewhere again we have a T we have a table body too. That's why CSS is being applied to everything here, because we want it to only apply to this T body alone. So let me look for where this particular one, this should go up. Okay, this TR, I know it's only one section, T body, and the CSS is supposed to apply to only T body here, only this T body. So, and this is not picking this T body, TR, and the TR. This is odd number. Why applying to everything? Don't want this. Why apply to everything here? T body. Oh. T body. Is not what's supposed to return. If I use TR here now, that cover for everything, and this not to change the row. Undo. The next I can do now is to give it the class name. Okay, let me do it in this way now. Comment this. Okay, I copy. I want to apply it another way. Comment this line. Okay, good. And duplicate it again. Now turn this on to what? .tr empty now. Okay, so I save this now. So anything I want it to be this color, I can apply the color to it. Return back here, and here again have been removed. So return to here now and copy this .tr here now. So this is the row I want it to apply to, and come down here and say, well, class equal tr. Okay, and the next one I can apply to each of those classes separately. This is the first row. I skip the second. I'll go to the second row, class equal tr2. Okay, so and I save it here again here now. So that is it now. So that is it. And at the same time again, I cannot change the color of this one to white, because the green and this color is not enough like this. So return it back to here again and define the color for the wall. Say color column ash f. Okay, semicolon, and that means every color here become what? White. You get it now? So that is it. Now. So, and the header here, I can define the padding for the space for it, just like the padding we have up here again, to make sure there is a okay, where's the padding? We want to define the padding for space for the wall, for the header and TD. Okay, you can return back to here and create a new CSS for that. Th space. Okay, th space, and here I say padding. So this th space class, I can apply it to all the th here now. So first one, class equal th. Okay, so apply this space to it, I can apply space to the remaining wall. TH2 here now. TH and TH and also TH and also what? TH. Before I will save this page, that will not go take effect. I want you to look at it. You can see TH. You can see this item is close to the border where this green is here now, at the bottom right here. So a little bit of space between them is what we are trying to create here now. So returning back to what? To this my Visual Studio Code, I save the cart page here and coming back to this particular work page and I refresh. Do you see any spacing difference? No. Okay, let me increase the space here now. Okay. Oh, I did not save the CSS. That's the reason. So let me save the CSS now. Okay. You can see a little bit of space. This one go up now. Depend for the initial one we have. Or let me revert this one again. Undo again. That may have not saved this page. You can see the item is close to the border here. And with that particular one, CSS rule here now, you can see the space is automatically adjust here now. That's given this particular wall space. And also the image you have in this particular card, they get it now. So can we add the same padding to the images here? You can see the image still close to the border up again, which is still not good enough. So we cannot apply the same rule to that space again. I say th was space now. Okay, so I can return back to my cart page. This is move away. Okay, so here now, returning back to this, then go to the class this to every column we have too. So this is the first column. Okay, this is second column now. Okay, and each of these column again, we are going to do something applied work using the remove the attribute was center again, and this one too. Okay, that means I already add the space to the first table here. So for the first column, you can see this space go up here now. This item is now remain in the center here. We are repeating the same thing for the remaining table here now. Since these are the same item we have for now. Okay, the same item is what we have here to demonstrate. So I can repeat this TD, which I already have for this row here. No, okay, all these, okay, TD here for this row. Okay, I can replace it with the second row again. This row 2, okay, and this is row 3, okay, and I want to make it 4 row now. So that means 4 items in our cart. But this time around, remember, so this one did not need the color 1, 2, okay, and the last one here now. Okay, so save this page. Now you can see the space is closed, move away from the border. That is it now. So these are how the item in our carting page will look like. You get it now. So, and from here again now, we have seen different type of how the table can be changed here. Now I want to apply the same CSS rule which I applied to this client page here. I want to apply it to this particular cart too. And I want to change the navigation of the cart page too to the one we have on the home page. So we already written the CSS for it. If I turn to this particular client page again now, this is the section for that banner, and the CSS we have for it, we call it client banner. So I copy that CSS and I apply it to the cart page, the section for client banner. Okay, this is it here now. So that CSS replace all this information we have here. Okay, and I save it. So if I return back to my client page again, you can see this has changed. You get now, including the border for the main table in this particular place too. We set it to 0. Okay, and here now we have this. The only thing remaining is the navigation for this one cart page again up here. We already create a CSS for it, and that means what we need to do now is the CSS we are going to apply to the particular cart. We apply CSS to the image, we apply CSS to navigation, and okay, that is it. So those CSS already apply to the index page again, up to the header, to the wall, to the end of navigation here. So what I just need to do is to copy this from the index page here now, and I will now apply it to what? To the cart page. It's going to cover where they say header end here. It's the same CSS rule we already applied there, and I replace it. So when I click on save, this page automatically change here now. You get it now. So, but for now, I'm going to apply the same thing here. I'm going to apply it to what? To the contact us page too. But we are not through with this particular one, this page. You can look at this button for what? For checkout. We need to apply CSS to it. So to do that again, I'm returning back to what? To my style here now. Since I'm still working on the section for what? For the cart, I can now come here and say what? Dot what? Checkout. That means this is going to be CSS for checkout for button. So I want to define the width for the button to be what? 300 pixel. Okay, I want to define the height for the button to be 45 pixel. Okay, and I want the button to have, there's a CSS rule we applied to the button before in order to make our button to be more consistent, like the border radius. This for image. Let me look for where we have the button. I don't want it to different. Okay, cart button, good. This is CSS for it now, and wait, so I can apply all this CSS rule, which is this now. Let me return back to the word, because our button must be consistent, or they must have the same CSS rule here now. Okay, now so the border, there's no border for it. The font is going to be bold, background color is going to be this, and this is going to be the color of the text. I save this again. I can apply that to the checkout button. This is where the checkout button is in the cart page here now. Where is it? Okay, the checkout button. So return back here and call this one and say what? Class equal checkout. Okay, and I save. So let's see how it looks like. You can see now that's my checkout button. But once on there, when I move my mouse over, it should change. Just like the same thing we have on all these pages. You have to be consistent. So, and the text is capital, and this one is capital, yes. So I can now return back to here again to the CSS and now define the word, the checkout word over, to write what effect I want to apply when the word, the state of this particular word button is changed. By over mean when the mouse is over it. So the border remains the border, the width and height remain the same, but the border will change. Border will now be 1 pixel now. I want border to show, I say 1 pixel, and should be solid, and border color is going to be green now. That is it. Okay, that is one. But font bold is remain the same. It will use the previous one, the checkout here. Okay, but the background color here is going to be white now. That's FFF for white. But the color of the text is going to be green. Yeah, you want the text color to be green now, and that is the CSS rule now to change it. When I say this again and my mouse is over this, you can see now. So we want this to be maintained. One more thing is it, the total grand total amount and subtotal, I want them to be bold very well, so that customer can see how much they are paying. Subtotal, tax, I want them to be bold, so I can return backward to here and apply the CSS to those area too. This is where we have the grand total. All these are the center. So subtotal, grand total, and the amount now. I want to apply the different CSL to this title. So I can come down here and give it what the class name. I call it what dot what I call it price label. Okay, price label. Okay, price label. Now font size. Okay, font size should be 14 point, and the font weight is going to be what? Bold now. Okay, let me apply the price label now to this section of the cart. Okay, and I'm going to make it to be center again, and then I'm going to be class equal price label. So let me see how it will look like here first. Good. So here now I will remove this one, align center here. Okay, I will apply align center to this again, that the text will be center. See text align, and that will be center now. Okay, good. So that for the price one label. So I can apply the same thing here now to other TD. I want the same thing to apply to this. I want the same thing to apply to this. I want the same thing to apply to this. And I want the same thing to apply to grand total, and here too, and this. Okay, I think that is all. That's all. So I save this page. So here now you can see these are now bold enough for everybody to see amount we are paying. But clicking on this checkout, that takes us to what? To the form. Okay, click on the checkout, take us to checkout page, which is our required work form. You get now. So we have applied the complete CSS to this particular work page here now. So let me save this one for now before I will continue the video for the work for the next one.